Stop everything you're doing right now. In the next 5 seconds, I'm going to reveal why that woman, who seemed so interested, simply vanished from your life as if you never existed. It's as if you were a deleted file from her computer, with no chance of recovery. You know what I'm talking about. That hollow feeling in your chest when she stops replying to your messages. That sensation of being invisible, when just yesterday she was laughing at your jokes. It's the female high-speed filter in action, processing and discarding men with the coldness of an algorithm. Pay attention, because this is ultra-rare. Most men will spend their entire lives being discarded without understanding the mechanism behind it. You're about to discover something that only a tiny fraction of men truly comprehend. And when you understand, you'll never be the same. You know what the worst part is. While you're trying to figure out what you did wrong, she's already talking to another guy, maybe 2, maybe 3, and she feels absolutely nothing about cutting you out of her life. Zero remorse, zero guilt. It's as if those moments you shared were just a mirage in the desert. This destroys men from the inside out. You start to question your worth. You start to think that maybe you're not good enough, that maybe you need to completely change who you are, and then you enter a downward spiral of insecurity that contaminates all your future relationships. Can you feel how this affects you? The problem is that you're playing a game without knowing the rules. It's like entering a boxing ring blindfolded while your opponent sees perfectly. You take hit after hit and don't even know where they're coming from. Now listen to me. Over the past 12 years analyzing behavioral patterns and relationship psychology, I've discovered something few apply. A protocol that explains exactly how and why women discard men, and more importantly, how you can shield yourself against it. This isn't internet theory, it's pure observation of reality. I'm going to show you the 5 deadly signs that indicate you're about to be discarded. Each one of them is like a silent alarm you need to learn to hear. If you ignore these signs, being discarded is practically guaranteed. First sign: she stops asking questions about your life. Remember when she wanted to know about your day, about your plans, about that project at work? When a woman stops showing genuine curiosity about you, the discarding process has already begun. It's the first step of emotional disengagement. Studies show that curiosity is the fuel of attraction. When she no longer wants to know the details of your life, it means you've already been demoted in her mental hierarchy. You went from protagonist to extra, from priority to option, and options are discardable by definition. Does that make sense so far? I'm going to tell you something that happened to a guy I know. He had been dating a woman for 3 months. Everything seemed perfect, until he realized that for the past 2 weeks, she had completely stopped asking about anything in his life. She only replied when he asked something. 2 weeks later, she vanished. She blocked him from everything: Instagram, WhatsApp, even LinkedIn, as if 3 months of connection had never existed. This is the power of female discarding, when the alarm of the first sign is ignored. Pay attention now. Second sign: her replies become increasingly shorter and delayed. You send a paragraph, she replies with 1 word. You send a message in the morning, she replies at night, or the next day, or never. It's what I call the slow death of communication. She's passively aggressively teaching you that you're no longer a priority. The timing of replies reveals priorities. Think about it. When you're truly interested in someone, you reply quickly. You elaborate on your responses. You show enthusiasm. When she takes hours or days to reply with a simple okay or lol, she's telling you without words that you're at the end of the line. Can you visualize this pattern? Here's the cruel detail. While she takes 3 hours to reply to you, she's talking in real time with the guy who truly sparks her interest. You become the pastime for her moments of boredom. The plan B she keeps just in case. This hurts, I know, but you need to face this reality head on. Ignoring these signs won't make them disappear. On the contrary, it will only prolong your suffering and delay your evolution as a high-value man. Third sign: she cancels plans and doesn't suggest rescheduling. This one is one of the most obvious, but men still insist on not seeing it. When a woman is interested, she moves mountains to see you. When she's not, any breeze turns into a hurricane that prevents the meeting. Wake up, man. If she cancelled twice in a row and didn't actively suggest a new date, you've already been discarded. She just didn't have the courage to tell you directly. She's waiting for you to get the hint and disappear on your own. Availability is proportional to interest. Remember this as if it were a mantra. Those who want to, find a way. Those who don't, find an excuse. And women are masters at creating elaborate excuses that seem legitimate but are just smokescreens. Do you notice the pattern forming? I'm going to be even more direct with you. If she says she's too busy, but you see her stories going out with friends, going to parties, doing 1,000 things except seeing you, you're not a priority. You're the leftover. What's left when she has nothing better to do? Does this bother you? Good. It should bother you because only when you feel that discomfort can change begin. Only when you recognize your current position can you work to improve it. Fourth sign, she stops showing jealousy or possessiveness. Almost no one notices this one. When a woman is invested in you, she wants to know who you're with. She gets bothered when you mention other women. She asks subtle questions to investigate your intentions. Healthy jealousy is a sign of emotional investment. When she completely stops caring about who you see or don't see, the emotional bond has already been cut. She has already mentally released you. You can go out with whoever you want because to her you're no longer hers. Can you feel the difference? It's as if she's flipped an internal switch. Yesterday she wanted to know every detail of where you were. Today you could disappear for 3 days and she wouldn't even notice. This indifference is the prelude to the final discard. Hurry up and pay attention to this. Fifth sign, sex becomes mechanical or disappears completely. Physical connection is the thermometer of emotional connection. When a woman is disconnecting from you, the first place it shows up is in intimacy. Sex becomes an obligation, or it simply stops happening. She always has a headache now. She's always tired, always has something more important to do. And when it does happen, it's quick, without passion. As if she's completing a boring task on her to-do list. This is her body biologically rejecting you. Studies show that female physical attraction is directly linked to admiration and respect. When she stops admiring you, her body literally closes off to you. It's a primitive selection mechanism that has existed for thousands of years. Does that make sense now? Now I'm going to reveal something almost no one has the courage to talk about. The 3-phase female discard protocol. It's a pattern that repeats with frightening accuracy, and when you know this protocol, you'll never be caught off guard. Again, phase 1, silent devaluation. This is when she starts comparing you to other men. Every one of your flaws is amplified. Every quality is minimized. You become a sum of problems in her head, but she says nothing. She just internally processes this new perception of you. During this phase, you still think everything is fine. She still replies to your messages, still goes out with you, but internally the decision has already been made. She's just waiting for the right moment or the necessary courage to execute the discard. Do you see how calculated this is? Phase 2, testing and distancing. Here she starts testing you to confirm her suspicions. She provokes you to see if you react with insecurity. She creates situations to validate that you're not the man she needs. It's a veiled sabotage of the relationship. At the same time, she starts creating emotional distance. Conversations become superficial. Dates become spaced out. She starts building a life separate from you. New friends you don't know. New hobbies that don't include you. You feel like something is wrong but can't identify what. It's intentional. She's creating an exit bridge while you still think you're building something together. When you finally realize it, she already has one foot out the door. Can you visualize this process happening? Phase 3, clean cut or ghosting. It's the grand finale. After mentally devaluing you and creating emotional distance, she executes the discard. Sometimes it's direct, with a quick conversation saying it's not working. Sometimes it's cowardly, simply vanishing without explanation. Ghosting is the cruelest form of discard. You're left without closure, without understanding, without the chance to process what happened. It's as if you've been erased from her existence. And the worst part, she moves on with her life as if nothing happened. Does this make you furious? It should. But here's the secret few men understand. You have an active part in this process. You facilitate the discard through predictable and low-value behaviors. You become discardable when you stop valuing yourself. Pay close attention now. When you beg for attention, you devalue yourself. When you accept crumbs of affection, you devalue yourself. When you put her on a pedestal, you devalue yourself. And women don't respect men who don't respect themselves. The discard is a consequence of your self-devaluation. Does it hurt to hear that? I know it hurts, but it's the truth that will free you from this cycle. You are not a victim. You are an active participant. And that means you have the power to change the game. Now I'm going to teach you emotional shielding. First, establish rigid boundaries from the start. If she takes days to reply, you also take days. If she cancels plans, you don't react with desperation. You simply move on with your life. Abundance attracts, scarcity repels. Always remember that. Second, keep your mission as a priority. Your career, your goals, your personal evolution should come before any woman. When you have a greater purpose, you naturally become less needy and more attractive. Women respect men with direction. Third, develop genuine options. I'm not talking about pretending to have other women. I'm talking about genuinely building a rich social life with real connections, real possibilities. Real abundance is magnetic. Does that make sense to you? Fourth, learn to read the signs and act preventatively. When you notice the first indications of discard, be the one who makes the decision. Better to leave with dignity than to be kicked out. The power is in who decides the end. Fifth, work on your outcome versus process mindset. Stop focusing on the outcome of specifically winning her over. Focus on the process of becoming a better man. The results are a natural consequence of a well-executed process. This changes everything. Do you see? I know some will say this is misogynistic, that I'm blaming women, but it's not about blame, it's about understanding human nature. Women do this due to biological and psychological selection mechanisms. It's survival of the fittest in action. And do you want to be the fittest or the discarded? The choice is yours. You can continue to be the guy who doesn't understand the signs, who begs for crumbs of attention, who is discarded without remorse. Or you can be the man who understands the game, who values himself, who is irreplaceable. I'm going to tell you a final secret. Women don't discard high-value men. They fight to keep them. They make an effort. They invest, because they know that men like that are rare, ultra rare. And when you become that man, the game completely flips. Do you realize the power of this? Instead of you chasing, they chase you. Instead of you begging for attention, they seek your approval. Instead of being discarded, you choose who you want to be with. But this requires work. It requires you to stop seeing yourself as a victim. It requires you to take responsibility. It requires you to evolve from a needy boy to a complete man. And few are willing to do that work. The question is, are you? Because if you're not, it's better to stop watching now and continue in the cycle of discard and suffering. But if you're ready for change, if you're ready to never be discarded without remorse again, then you need to act now. Do you know why now? Because every day that passes with you in the same pattern is a lost day. Every relationship you enter without this knowledge is a declared failure. Every woman who discards you is proof that you need to change, and change begins with awareness. You now have awareness of the signs. You have awareness of the protocol. You have awareness of your role. Ignorance is no longer an excuse. If you continue to be discarded after this, it's your choice. Does this bother you? Perfect. Use that discomfort as fuel. Use that anger as motivation. Use that pain as a teacher. Transform every past discard into learning so you never repeat the same mistakes again. Remember the high-speed filter. Women will continue filtering and discarding men. It's their nature. The question is whether you'll be the discarded or the approved, whether you'll be the deleted file or the main program. Wake up to reality, brother. The world isn't going to change to accommodate you. Women aren't going to stop discarding low-value men. Competition isn't going to decrease. On the contrary, it's getting increasingly fierce. You need to evolve or you'll be left behind. And evolution begins with action. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, this very moment. Make the decision to never accept crumbs again, to never beg for attention again, to never be the discardable one again. Be the irreplaceable one. But before you leave here and forget all this, do one thing. Like this video now, subscribe to the channel now, turn on notifications now. Because the knowledge I share here is the map to get out of the discard labyrinth. Do it now before you forget. And always remember, you are not a file to be deleted. You are the main operating system. When you understand this, when you embody this, when you live this, being discarded without remorse becomes impossible. The high-speed filter will always approve. You because you've become irreplaceable. You've become necessary. You've become the kind of man women fight to keep, not to discard. And that, my friend, changes absolutely everything.